President Biden announcing massive new sanctions against Russia. This, of course, after opposition leader Alexei Navalny mysteriously died in a Russian prison. President Biden issuing the restrictions, the largest amount yet targeting Moscow, its war machine, and those helping Putin evade existing sanctions. This all comes as tomorrow will mark 2 years since Russian forces invaded Ukraine in 2022, and amid these new warnings that the Ukrainian military is facing a catastrophic shortage, including weapons and ammunition. President Biden urging Congress to force a vote on the stalled aid package. Joining me for more on this is William Taylor, the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. So, Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time. And first of all, I'd love to get your take here on both Republicans in Congress blocking aid to Ukraine, but also Chuck Schumer leading a delegation out there now.
So the Congress has demonstrated strong support for Ukraine, as Senator Schumer's visit demonstrates. Senator McConnell has been out there as well, and he's demonstrated that same kind of support with the Republican delegation. And in the Senate, there was an overwhelming vote, a bipartisan vote, okay, the 70-29, with most of the Democrats and 22 of the Republicans supporting Ukraine and the package, the arms package. Now the question is in the House. And if there is a vote in the House, it will pass. Again, with bipartisan support, just like in the Senate. It'll be bipartisan vote overwhelmingly to support Ukraine. But the question in the House is, can it get to a vote? That is the key.
And we'll certainly be watching that very closely. But in the meantime, Ukraine has grown increasingly outgunned, outmanned. We've actually had to see Ukrainian forces even retreat from cities that they've held so far. What are the stakes here without new U.S. aid coming through, and coming through quickly?
Stakes are very high. They are existential for the Ukrainians. They're very high stakes. They cannot win. They have said this. Ukrainians cannot win without the support of the United States. There's a lot of support coming in. There's a lot of weapons and ammunition coming in from Europe. But the bulk, the heavy bulk, is really coming from the United States. And that holdup in the weapons provision, due to the funding that we just talked about, is really having an effect. You just said they're having to pull back from Avdiivka. And they've been holding Avdiivka for 10 years. And now that they're almost running out, they're getting very low on ammunition, they're having to pull back. So it's having an immediate effect. And again, it comes down to getting a vote in the House of Representatives to provide the funds so that the Pentagon can provide the ammunition to the Ukrainians.
And, you know, we can analyze the military and we can analyze Congress, but let's talk about what it's really like for people that are on the ground there. In fact, there's this UNICEF report that I found really troubling that says there's children in cities in Ukraine, especially in those frontline areas, that have spent essentially the equivalent between 4 and 7 months of the last 2 years sheltering underground.
It's miserable. It is miserable. So I've been there 6 times since the big war. We have to remember that this is 10 years that the Ukrainians have been fighting the Russians after the invasion. But 2 years now, tomorrow, and the air raid sirens go off, and the Ukrainians know when there is the need to go down into those air raid shelters, and the children are down there. They can't do the homework. They can't do the work in school. This is having an effect on all the families, not to mention the soldiers that are out there on the front lines, and every family has been affected by this.
Absolutely. Ambassador Taylor, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.